Hi, this is Michelle Manu, Silk Warrior. I'm somewhere in Midtown Atlanta today. It's quite beautiful, a little bit of a drizzly day, a perfect day to work out. And where am I going? To a very exclusive chance, an opportunity to work out with Guru Marrese Crump, who's in from Thailand, who was opposite the main villain against Tony Jaa in the last Protector 2 film. So today he's doing an action workshop here in Atlanta, and I hope to learn a little bit of what makes Maurice. He's got capoeira, Muay Thai, Salat, Kali, you other Filipino martial arts, and so I really look forward to seeing it from his angle when he was working on the Protector and what he does to be so successful when he's on camera. So thank you for joining us. I gotta get in there. I'm here in Midtown Atlanta for an exclusive workshop on film action being held by Guru Marrese Crump, who is recently here from Florida but has also lived internationally. Thank you so much for what you just instructed. We really had a great time in learning that amazing fight between you and Tony Jaa in the Protector 2. So a lot of work, and you gave us the behind the scenes of a possible movement, but then that didn't work out, and that's, you know, like the connecting of a knee that didn't work, and then it went into a side thrusting kick. Right. So I mean, things that you wouldn't normally get in a film workshop. Yeah, I'd like to go over a little bit of your background and what's influenced you in the martial arts since you were 8.
Yeah, I mean, I started when I was 8, and my first teacher, actually his name is Kim J, and he was kind of a free thinker. And we trained in the garage, in the backyard. Right. But his whole thing actually became kind of like the premise for all my training, which was never limit yourself. And so I always say that he's like my Mr. Miyagi in a way, you know what I mean? So much respect to him. He got me started in that way of thinking, and I think that's more important than the techniques. Like, it's funny, everybody thinks I lived in Thailand for like 100 years or something. But actually what it was I spent a lot of time there. Over a course of about 5 years, I spent majority of a year at a time. Like I would say like maybe 6 months out of a year, I'd be in Thailand. So I guess you could consider that living there. But I was training under my master, Master Panar Tikrai. He passed away last year. But I'm very thankful that I got a chance to go and study with him. And that was the sole reason why I was going there, to get that knowledge and be the kind of pupil and disciple that I knew I needed to be.
Well, he saw something in you that was pretty special, and it's wonderful that you made the time. Like my grandmaster is older too, and you just cherish that time with them. So we're sorry for your loss.
I appreciate that.
I'm not really sure if there's anyone else out there, and I don't know if any of you know of anyone, because I don't, that has your present martial arts skills at your level, and then this presence on film. So everyone's always saying we want to see real martial arts. Why do those actresses and actors go through all this training for a year before they film? Why don't they just use a Marrese Crump? And so now here you are. Protector 2 and all the other movies that you're doing and all of your upcoming projects that we can't speak about, but you're sought after, and you have direct connections with international, West Coast, East Coast. You're hitting it hard. It's coming. You do you, I do me, and you're going to do you very well. What does it take for you to do you? What's your workout plan, your mental plan, your resting plan? What do you do?
I train with guys every day that they just beat me up. I mean, they just beat me up. And some of those guys don't have any, and a lot of women as well. I work out with a lot of women that are very tough, very skilled. But they don't have maybe even the ambition to do movies.
That's true.
But they're still an integral part of my training regimen. I need to work with them to keep myself honest, to keep myself humble.
Sure.
But also because they don't work in film, they are staying true to the art. So it gives me a chance to kind of create outside of the box. Because when you're creating for a specific reason, it's good sometimes, but also sometimes you got to create without the business mind.
True.
Yeah,
It's
you know what I
very
mean?
true.
So I think that if there's anything that I have that is different is right now, I like to create just because I create. And then when I go and work with someone for a project, I try to put that creation with their creation, which is the greatest co-creation.
Right. Well, you're already prepared.
Because if you learn traditional martial arts, whether you're doing it for movies or not, creativity is one of the most important parts of training.
Absolutely.
So some people come in to train with me because they want to learn like real martial arts. Some people are specific, they're actors or they're performers, and they're trying to get some particular skill or set of skills to use in a project. Both is cool with me.
Right.
You know, it's cool with me either way. But I always try to push people into doing more traditional training because I think the training mindset that comes from real martial arts will help you in all fields.
I agree.
Yeah.
And life.
Correct.
Right. So you're building this team. You have a team. You say they, kind of like ninjas,
brothers.
right? Well, now you're exposing all of them, brothers and sisters, and getting into business, not just the training and taking your training into business. How have you built such a strong team of trusted confidants?
Well, and I think that building a team, like I said, is more like a family. We train together, we eat together, and so, and to be honest with you, everybody has their own style. Each one of these guys could stand on their own without me, and I think that's the real power. Is instead of trying to find people to follow me, I'm surrounding myself with other leaders.
Right.
So it's like if you think of it, like if I pull back, one of them are gonna push forward, and vice versa. So it's not just me. These guys are talented and they're skilled. Yeah.
Right. I just want to ask a little bit about your teacher.
Okay.
What did he instill in you that you hope to pass on to the public and also your students?
In regards to Panam, my teacher, and the reason I ask is because I think I've had a lot of teachers. My core teachers, my martial art teachers, gave me the foundation. So I couldn't have ever done any of this movie stuff without them giving me the arts. But Panam, I consider him my teacher in art.
Yeah.
And so even though my teachers gave me the martial, he gave me the art. And so he gave me the ability to look at what I'm doing and say, that's beautiful, that's cool what you're doing, but why are you doing it that way? When you transition to movies, maybe you should do it that way because this person needs to draw this feeling from you.
Yeah, it's expression.
This person needs to draw this feeling. So I had to learn that. I mean, it's not something that I just walked into like, oh, I'm good at it. Because that actually was a form of acting as well, because you're starting to really address how you feel and how do you make the audience feel. You have to have intention. So he gave that to me, and not only that, he trusted me and treated me like a son. I was the only foreigner, not the only foreigner actually, but the only American that he ever took. There were 2 other guys that were from foreign countries, but he took me as the only American. And but his thing to me was, he said this to me, and I say this to everybody. He said, you are the production. The art is in your body. And so no matter what you're doing, the camera is great, but the camera has to see my truth.
That's right.
And I am the truth.
I love
And I gotta be the truth. And so I got that from him.
What was it like to work with and train with Tony Jaa?
Tony Jaa's awesome. And a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people realize, Tony's been around for a really long time. The very first time I saw Tony Jaa on a movie, I saw Ong Bak. And I watched the TV and I said, So I can do that. And so I start telling all my friends, I'm like, yo, I can do that, I can do that. Of course, people think you're crazy, right?
I can do that too.
And so they were like, you can't do it. I'm like, of course I can do that, you know? But then to think that years later, after I've told all my friends that I can do that, then I'm fighting him.
Yeah, you're sharing.
Right. And me and him talked about that. And it's been such a long journey because you got to remember, all the movies Tony has done, the training prior to that, there's more training involved than actual filming.
Oh, I believe it.
So he's been through a lot of training, you know, and I've been through a lot of training. So it's been a long process. So working with him is actually kind of like a homecoming because we both have the same teacher. So we got to kind of showcase and honor Panal through fighting each other.
So wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience?
No, I think we had a great time today. Today was a groundbreaking event. The fundamental feeling in the room was just brotherhood and sisterhood. You know what I mean? So you can't beat that. So we're gonna do it again.
Yay! I want to
We're gonna
come.
do it again. We're gonna do it again. Yes.
Thank you so much for
Yes,
being
ma'am.
here.
Yes, ma'am.
It's my honor to sit next to you and to take a workshop from you.
Well, the next one we're gonna do better. We're gonna go even further.
See, I like it. He thinks like I think.
All right.
Well, thank you so much and enjoy your time here in Atlanta.
Thank you.
And I will be happy to have you back again.